Hello and welcome to Honda Element SC Repair Day. I'm Rob and this is my SC here. And today I'm going to show you a little trick I learned from the boating world. You need a couple things. One is your glue. Mainly, this is a fabric glue that is acetone based. There's a water based one. You can find at any craft stores, Michaels or a craft department at Walmart, anything like that. It's common. It's a basically a fusion type of glue that when you press together, it will penetrate with both of the fabrics on there and hold them together. And then and that's what we're going to use for our patch here that I got from Goodwill. My $3 pair of shorts that already had a tear in them. So I'm going to go ahead and use this fabric here because the jeans is a really tough, good material that won't stretch on it there. So and it's black, so it helps hide anything. And black is really great for hiding because the shadow will blend right in. We're going to need a Sharpie here. And what we have on here on also is a top stitching problem here on the corner where the fold on it has been just worn down to where it's nothing left on it, and this is opened up here. So we're going to use a patch to pat this up here. I'll show you how to glue that on there on the bottom side of it and get it all together. And then we're just going to probably just take a Sharpie along the edge here and cover up all those things because there's nothing we can do about the fabric worn out there. It's just literally gone. So everybody has a SC, loves them, but hardly any of them have the driver's seat still intact. So this is a little patch for everyone. And you can see that underneath here, the foam has been wrinkled up. So we want to shape that inside there and get that underneath there taken care of first. And it has like an 1/8 layer on top of it that covers the whole seat cushion and kind of makes it blend in there. It gets messed up inside there. So any kind of foam repairs you want to do inside here now. So when you run your hand across it, it feels smooth because once you get sealed up in there, you can't get back inside there unless you do a lot more work. So while you have it open, and it doesn't really matter if you make a hole any bigger at this point there, try and reach around and get inside there and roll that 1/8 foam that's covering it out of the way. Or if you have to, if you can unroll it, you can see a little bundle up inside here where it's been just rolled over and rolled over. If you kind of lay it out flat like that, you see it how it just rolls back over. That's what you want to try and do. Some of them are just, it's disappeared. It's not there anymore. You can't do anything about that. So if you can get it inside there and lay it out flat, it's better to have that so you won't have any seams on here where you have to stop and start where you can try and match. If you can save the original, it's in there. If not, then just go down to your fabric store and get yourself some 1/8 foam, and you make a little patch inside there and try and take the foam and feather out the edges of it so it's not a hard edge. You can just like take a piece of sandpaper and put on a block of wood and feather out the edges of the foam so when you lay inside there it won't be a hard edge that you'll be able to feel underneath there so you can get back to that factory feel. This inside here is kind of laying out pretty good. It did a lot better than I was expecting. Yeah, you see it pops open right there. You want to make sure that anything that's not really tight there holding, go ahead and break it loose so you know what you're working with because you're not going to be able to come back and do it twice and do a really good job. So you want to try and get inside here and open it up as much as you can, flatten all that back out inside there. You can see some of the foam has been degraded there, but not enough. And this will lay right across it if it goes right back in there and you get all the wrinkles out of it and help cover that up inside there. You can take a little bit of the glue inside there once you get it all laid out and smoothed out inside there. Yeah, you can go ahead and put little dabs of glue here and there to try and hold it in place. You can see I'm chasing it around here and there. Probably have to take all this out in editing once I learn how to do that. So you lay all that out inside there. You can see inside. Sun's on doing me a favor today. It's right in the place where I need it. And it's a nice sunny day after Easter. Good day to get out and do some work on the car. Yeah, this foam was on the back of the material, is what it was. And it's now separated from this material and this because it was a foam back cloth when they sewed it all together and not much left of that foam in there. So if you get it all out of the way, it's not really part of the structure on it. It's just something to soften up the surface of it, so any kind of bumps or stitching inside there that doesn't lay out flat kind of smooths it out. That's about the best I can be able to get this, unless I start going to wear tearing way back inside there. And I'm not just that much of a perfectionist on this one here. I'm just trying to show you how to patch this creature up. Let me see it. See, this is supposed to go right up to that edge like that. That's what you want to do, is try and get that foam back in place. Now, this is an acetone base, and in the sun it's going to dry really fast, so be prepared for that there. You go ahead and use this as a drop cloth, cover up any other uglies as I do this part of it. That way it won't be anything underneath it, on top of it, on the cloth outside. And try to come up with a better idea of covering up, and I realized I got masking tape. That's a great thing to mask off the seat where you don't want the glue to get, and you don't want to do this procedure after you put the Sharpie marks on there, because then what will happen is that Sharpie will bleed into other things, and you don't want to do that if you can avoid it. I'm taping it right up to the edge of the fabric, so if anything comes out when I apply it here and it oozes away, you can see it won't get on anything important. Get in between the fabric and the glue in there. Put a little dabs here inside there, just back and forth. You don't have to get really on both sides, because I'll show you a little trick that you learn. Once you get all glue inside there, just tack here and there. It doesn't have to be a bunch. Once you got it inside there, you push it down onto the glue while it's wet. Get it inside there like that, and push it into the fabric. The tape's there, so it won't really come through on the fuzzy parts there, because when it comes together, those fuzzies will fill up with glue and you'll see the seam. You can see now it's all stuck up to the top, nice and smooth underneath there. There's a little dab here and there, it pushes through the foam and pushes into the fabric and really bonds it together good. So now we're going to take, maybe put a little bit more out here to do a bigger area. And this glue is stringy when you're applying it, so be aware of that and cautious. Like that. Now, I need a patch. It's going to be at least about 1 inch all the way around this here. So you want something about this long here and about that wide on it. So I already got some cutouts here for this. Get a nice smooth patch out of the back of it. You got the fuzzies on the edge. You don't want the fuzzies, so we'll go ahead and cut into it a ways. A couple inches. Cut that off. Make sure this is about the right size. We don't need all those fuzzies over there. Probably any problem, because you see how everything's getting messy already. Let's go ahead and trim this off to the side. Okay, now we got that. Now what we're going to do here is use this, since it's already been cut up and wasted, as a place to go ahead and glue this up. Sometimes it's best to do it right next to what you're going to be working on, because carrying it from here to there, something happens, you get glue all over the place and it's all messed up. So now he's got a patch in there that's big enough to go all the way around. You don't have to put glue on it yet. What you do is go ahead and tuck this inside. And we'll do just like we did the foam in there. Once you have it in place, then you can put the glue on it. It's trying to fight this creature inside here while it's glued up and not get it over you, the seat, the car, neighbor, dog next door. It gets everywhere. So you gotta get it underneath here. Try not to pull apart when you do it, because you're gonna make it bigger. Then you have to take the patch out and do another one. Smaller the better. This is where all the wrinkles I was talking about from the foam, you gotta get rid of. Same thing you gotta do with this fabric. You gotta make sure it's down far enough. And you just got it all tucked up inside there. You can take the fabric edge and kind of fold it over, scissors, pairs, screwdriver, whatever. And you see it, tuck it up underneath there like that. Get it in the corners. You get it all the way around, nice and flat up underneath there. And you just run your hand across it. You'll be able to feel the wrinkles. And you can't really see it with the tape on there. That's what the masking is about. And the mask is everything. It's all kind of a guessing game until you put it in the sun. So you can feel across there. Sometimes you can see better with your hands than with your eyes when it comes to something like this. And all the creases are in there. The natural folds in there. Well, you can take, once this is all glued together and solid, then we can take a steamer to this and heat that up and shoot that back into where it goes. But if you try and do that with this open there and there's, it causes more problems. When it's nice and slack right, this is what you want to do. And you can take and jet the air inside the, like an air gun, and put it inside the foam and expand it out, but you don't want to do that right now. Now everything feels nice and flat inside there. Now is the time to start laying it on. Okay. Just gotta watch out for those glue stringies. You can see it's just a regular clear, nothing really special to it, just an acetone base adhesive, kind of like contact cement. You just make a ring around inside there. You don't want to fill it up too much. You put it out as far as you can inside there, away from it, because you want a big bonding area. You want like at least an inch, maybe inch and a half, 2 inches. The bigger the better, all depending on what you can access inside there, depending on the problem you have. You can see I'm already getting it all over the place here. That's what all that tape's about, so don't get it on anything important. You gotta be careful about that foam. You don't wrinkle it up in the process and make the problem worse. You just kind of fill it inside there, cap it back off. You can see what I'm talking about there. Go ahead and just leave that right there. Any help? No. Yeah, and thank you. Just gotta put this back together here and make sure when you touch it down, you're close. You don't have to be right on the spot right here, which you're trying to do right now. Spread the glue around and press it into the fabric. This is why I was saying you want to maybe here at this point, maybe put some air inside there and expand that foam inside there. And it works for a little while, but the foam is degraded after time. There's nothing you can really do about that. Okay, now we got the glue inside there. You need to take this off so we can see what we're doing. You want to pull away from it, the seam. You want to pull towards it on all the tape so you're not opening it up anything inside there. You kind of roll it off like that. Same thing you do with paint or any kind of adhesives. You never really want to pull away from whatever you just bonded. That way you're pulling it backwards towards it. Won't be a problem. One side here, like that. One side like that. Alright, put that down there. Now made the glasses. This is where you can see up close what you're doing when you push it together. This is the final resting place for this. And you can take just about anything and manipulate it around and get the seam as close as you can together. You see when you push down on it, kind of gets shiny and a couple of shiny spots there. You want to push down too hard inside there and push that around those shiny spots, because then that's the glue coming back through. You see it's not really a great seam here. It's all kinds of fuzzies, but we're going to take care of those fuzzies here in a little bit once it gets set in place. The sun being on, it's really drying fast today. And probably be a good time to do this here. So you can see lays down. You see some is laying down, some is not. So we need just to tuck a little bit more up inside there of glue to get that patch to lay down. And see, it's got a nice big bonding area here. There's no real wrinkles to it or anything. So once it gets that foam back into condition, it will be a lot like the factory used to look. So get a little bit more inside here. It's been in the sun, so it'll expand out on you like that. So you gotta watch that. As you see, just a little bit inside there. Kind of spread it around with whatever you have: screwdriver, toothpick, pair of scissors. Wife's gonna yell at me about probably. Once you get all that together, you can see it. You push it down. There's still a little bit more needs to be done. Just go back in there, like right here. You need to pull it over some more so that seam's closer together before that glue sets up permanently. It may be fuzzy, it may be a little different than factory, but the seam is closed and it's going to stay closed with all that glue on side there once it sets up good and tight. And that's what this is about here. We're going back inside and trying to get rid of the little parts there that haven't laid down just yet. Don't get too much inside there, just kind of smear it around a little bit. Trying to get all the fabric going the right direction. And when any balls up underneath there, if you can avoid it. This is not going to look perfect. This is just basically to keep it from getting worse. There's nothing better than taking it apart and putting it together with the brand new stuff. But that's just not happening anymore. You see that little fuzzies there. I'm going to snip those off of here in a second. It's not all black fabric anymore. This is an interwoven with an orange weave to give it that background in it. This is not perfect, but we're just going to keep dabbing inside there till it lays down flat. And then that's what the Sharpie's going to do, is try and change the color of everything back into something that's not recognizable anymore. You see that patch there, there's not enough fabric left there to pull it over. And it's just kind of worn down to nothing. That's the sacrifice you have to kind of make here. You can see that I'm tucking in these little pieces into the gluing area of the seam. This area here took a lot of glue and just put it on there. That's why it's sticking it up like that. If you can try and keep some of the fabric in there, you can. But more glue you put on it, the more shiny it's going to get. And sometimes it's better just to solve the problem. That's not going to look right. Yep, and I just got some up there. But great thing is, it's acetone based, and there's plenty of acetone out there you can get off the shelves. Have any craft store too. Fingernail polish will work too. Fingernail polish is actually a little bit safer when it comes to fabrics, because acetone can eat dyes out of something that you're trying to clean up with, and you make a mess because your red rag is turning everything pink. So now we got to wait for that all to set up good and tight. Sun's really drying up fast here. You see I'm pushing on it over here and the seam's not coming apart except for one little spot right there. That's what you want to do. You want to test what you just did to make sure, because as soon as you sit in it, you're going to get, that's the ultimate test. You want to be ready for that. So tack a little bit more inside there. Get that seam to hold together. Pull it back like that. Punch came out on that one. This is, if you ever use shoe glue, this is pretty much the same stuff. This comes in a smaller tube. This is how you kind of smooth out the fuzzies on there and try and get it to where the top stitching edge here kind of blends in. It's supposed to look like this up here, but when I start coloring it in, once the glue dries up, give it a start here. Let's see. Sun kind of makes it soak in deeper too. It's not exactly right, but it is less noticeable, and mainly it won't get bigger. There's nothing you can really do about it. It's going to be a scar. You saw the rest of the paint job on my car, you'd see why. You'd say this blends right in. Clear coat's gone. It's a retitle. The body shop did a really horrible job. You still see sanding marks on it and things, but that's the beauty part about it. I don't have to worry about it. I kind of embraced it and gone with the old patina look, the old school. Done a long time ago, been down a hard road in the mountains, ready to race, run moonshine if I have to, because this is the moonshine side of the Dragon Tail that I live on here in Franklin, North Carolina. That's why I have an SC. And my wife has an all-wheel drive. Because to live in this area, it's good to have both. In the corners out here, yeah, it can be really murder. That there is the first step to it there. You want to let that soak in and see how it lays out later on. And you can go back with a Sharpie, but the fuzzies will, if you want to come back and take a lighter and burn them off and take a torch to it, and you take it, that's the best way to really to seal off and keep the fabric from spreading. Now that you got it all down there, and it's almost matted down in the glue, it doesn't really matter if you mat it down a little bit more with a torch. Here, I'll show you. Okay, torch might be a little bit too much heat in the area. I can hit it on an angle and do it just right, but a lighter, you just run across it like that. That kind of seals off and cauterizes, you might say, the fabric. Torch might be a little bit too much, but you just kind of keep going across it. If it doesn't work, eventually we'll melt the fabric into a little ball on the end of it. You see, it's all holding together now. It's not coming apart anymore. That's the main part I'm doing here. One day I'll get another sheet and tear it apart and unstitch it all and stitch it all back together when I get it junky that I can afford. But that there, a lot better. It's holding together, you can see. Now I can go back and do a little bit more sharpening and fill in the rest of the gaps. They do have a fabric paint that you might be able to use. I'm just using a Sharpie because it's just a simple way, and I know it's not going to be perfect. And if it's not going to be perfect, don't even try. If you can't match a color, don't. Do something different. Make it an accent. Make it something special, your own. That's always the rule in custom work, and custom boats and custom car stereo, and home stereo, trim work, or whatever. You can't match it, don't try. So going from the beginning of this, I think it looks a little bit better. Hope it helps.